Well, good day, my friends. It's your old pal Jordan the Lion. How are you all doing today? I hope you said great. We are back in Georgia, and I hope Georgia's on your mind because that famous song, we're going to talk about that today. Daze with Jordan the Lion begins right now. That's right, my friends. If you know that memorable song, Georgia on My Mind, you know the voice that sings it, the great Ray Charles. Ray Charles was one of the most influential musicians of all time in R&B, rock and roll, soul. He was actually the mentor to a young Quincy Jones. We know all the things Quincy Jones went on to do, so it should be a great day reflecting on a little bit of the history of the great Ray Charles. Let's go. We have the world's greatest dog and sidekick going along with us. Now, we went to Ray's childhood hometown, like where he grew up, which was Greenville, Florida, but today we're actually going to where he was born. We're going to talk about why he was born there. Oh, what a great sign. Beware of dog. She may be little, but she knows Kung Fu. Well, my friends, welcome to the town of Albany, Georgia. So this is nice, right in downtown. They have a Ray Charles Plaza. So the man who is credited with inventing soul music really blended everything. He was into jazz and gospel, R&B, eventually got into country western, was into the blues. I mean, just into everything. Look how amazing this is. Wow. Got the keyboard going all the way around for the piano. This is his birth town. And wow, what a statue. Man. Did the whole grand piano and everything. That guy could sing. That was really his. He's a great pianist too, but he really was just absolutely amazing singer. Soulful, slow. He said when his band would play with him, they'd have to watch his feet for the beat. Wow, it even continues over here. Wow, this is quite a place. The whole park actually has that theme. We'll check out the whole statue. So he was raised in Greenville, and I went and actually interviewed some of his childhood friends. So when he was a kid, because his real name is Ray Charles Robinson, they called him RC. So he was always known as RC. But what they told me there was that his mother and father lived in Greenville, but in those days, because of segregation, you know, you couldn't use a white midwife or a midwife that also delivered white babies. So the mother of Ray Charles had to come to Albany, where they said she had some family, and this is where she came to give birth. So she would have been here actually for about a month. So this is actually a really great statue. His childhood hometown also has a statue to him. It's just him sitting at just the keyboard, not the whole piano or anything, but this is a really, really in-depth statue. So what they told me was that about 2 weeks before she was to give birth, she would come here, have him, and then 2 weeks later ended up going back to Greenville. And unfortunately, you know, he wasn't born with, you know, blindness. That was something that happened because of almost shock. His brother, his younger brother, died in a laundry bucket. Like they were washing him, and he drowned in it. So after that, Ray basically went into shock, lost his sight, and they ended up sending him to a school for blind and deaf in St. Augustine. But he would come home in the summers, and because of his, you know, blindness, he actually would develop a really great sense of hearing. And right by their house was a man named Wiley Pittman that ran a general store and also a kind of a juke joint. He had a jukebox and a piano, and that's where Ray would learn the love of music, and he would learn how to play piano there from Wiley. Ray's mother taught him, you know, nobody is gonna always be there to take care of you, so you have to take care of yourself. So she taught him to do everything himself as much as she possibly could and as much as he possibly could. It's a good thing too, because his mother ended up passing away when he was 14, and then his father passed away within a year. So by the time he was 15 years old, he had lost pretty much his entire family. He started playing piano, and then by the age of, he'd been playing around Florida. He had actually, in Greenville, they told me about his friend that lived there that used to drive him to all of his gigs. They said when he was 17, he decided to go to Seattle, where there was a burgeoning music scene, and that's where he ended up befriending a young 15-year-old Quincy Jones, and they made kind of like bounce ideas off each other and would be friends, pretty much brothers the rest of their life. Ray accomplished just about everything he could do. He's in all the Hall of Fames, he's had hit songs, he's known, you know, pretty much Georgia on My Mind is like the state song. He's, you know, I remember hearing him in What I'd Say and You Don't Know Me, things like that. Those are some of my favorites. Real groundbreaking. Early days of rock and roll. Tried to censor him. Was in country western, making records with Willie Nelson. The guy would tour for like 10 months out of the year, and then the 2 months he was home, he would be in his recording studio working on new music. Over here they have a music note, and same with over here, another music note, and then the whole piano and the keys and everything. Really well done, along with some information here. It says Ray Charles, 1930 to 2004, was a pioneering musician who shaped the sound of rhythm and blues. Born in Albany, Georgia, Charles was blind by the age of 6. He later became known as one of the world's most beloved entertainers and called the genius of soul for his innovative renditions of pop, rock, and country music. His recording of Georgia on My Mind became the official state song of Georgia. He died in Beverly Hills at the age of 73. So I mentioned that he had a studio where he would record. He actually, there was like a whole office there. It's where he'd keep his memorabilia and everything. So when he passed away, they turned it into a museum that, last I knew, it's in Beverly Hills. Last I knew it was appointment only, but they wouldn't let you take photos or film anything. So I'd never gone, but nice to know his legacy is somewhere we can go visit. Here we have some of the older buildings of town, the Albany Journal building, and it takes us right over to the train station. Here you can see some railroad relics here in the road. It actually takes us to the Georgia Train Museum, also known as the Georgia Museum of Surveying and Mapping. This is where his mom very likely would have coming in to find the midwife, having a black midwife to deliver him. And then would have stayed for about 2 weeks to make sure that she was healthy and the baby was healthy. See what we can see. I love old train stations and things like that, so just kind of curious. Oh, that's cool. You can kind of get an old vibe from it here. And the crazy thing you got to remember is he was raised in a town and in a house with no electricity, no running water, none of that stuff. So this would have been like a big city for her. Online it says it's open, but I'm not seeing any way to get in. All the doors are locked. Look at that. Over here there's somebody's spacesuit on display. There it says Railway Express Agency, and there's a ticket booth over here. look at that clock up there, that's cool. Well, bummer. I was hoping we could get inside. There's a mural right outside. It has some pretty significant history for the town. Bob's Candy Makers. I think they'll put Ray on there. Nope. Birth of a Legend here. They got a statue, but didn't make the mural. Out here you can see where you would have waited for a train. Then the old railroad's actually back in here. The railroad that would have brought R.C. Robinson to and from. Somebody gave me a food recommendation for this town, so we're gonna check it out. And you know it's gonna be good because they are a cash-only business, and I feel like you really gotta be good to get people to come if you're a cash-only business. Here it is, Jimmy's Hot Dogs. Since 1940. Old school. Old school. Look at that. I can't wait. I can't wait to try this. Oh, heck yeah, look at this place. This is great. King of the hot dogs. Lots of pros eating here. Kenny the Shark Gant. Which I think they got Paula Dean's seal of approval. Oh, this is gonna be great. Alright, they just come in that little bag. Not really a place to eat inside. It's mainly just an order and pickup place, but a couple of tables right outside here. Not too bad. I went ahead and got 2 chili and slaw dogs. That's what they're known for. I love that kind of bun also, that split bun. That's what they're known for. That's what everybody says to get, and that's one of my favorites anyway. So. Oh yeah. Excellent. That's a good dog. Kind of small, I could tell when I saw somebody else order theirs, so I got 2. I think 2's the right amount for this. Get a little laugh when I saw that thing inside that Paula Dean had been here, of all people. I expected Guy Fieri actually, but no, Paula Dean. Oh yeah, highly recommended. One last thing I want to check out is right across from Jimmy's is the Transportation Center of Albany. They have a little bit of history in here as well. See, it says Miss Ola Mae Quarterman Clemens, Albany Transit would like to honor one of the leaders of Albany's civil rights movement, Miss Ola Mae Quarterman Clemens, January 12, 1962. Student at Albany State College refused the request of an Albany bus driver that she move from her seat to the back of the bus. She was convicted of disorderly conduct and sentenced to jail for exercising her rights as a citizen. Her courage and bravery led to a successful bus boycott. So they kind of have a section here. Then they have something about it inside as well. Oh no, this is actually about the sit-in. I thought this was the same thing. Rexall drugstore sit-in, the early 1960s. There's a plaque right over here that tells you the whole story. Of 1961, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee came to Albany to conduct workshops. They soon adopted an unprecedented goal of ending all forms of segregation and discrimination. On November 22nd, 5 black students were arrested for attempting to sit in the white-only area of the Trailways bus terminal. The Albany Transportation Center is built on the site of that terminal where these protests against racial segregation occurred. Nice. So that's what this whole thing right here is about. All right, my friends, I want to thank Kayla Gaska and David Howard for becoming my newest patrons, helping to support these travels. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed seeing The birth town of the great Ray Charles and the really amazing statue they had there. Now I will warn you, there were several homeless people hanging around in the park while I was filming it, and while I was filming it, one did come up and start harassing me and bothering me and trying to run me off. So just know that, you know, this is kind of that kind of town, so have your wits about you when you're out looking around if you want to stop and take a photo there. But other than that, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great night, and enough of these gnats. Goodbye.